Well, Big D, back to the Arrow Lakes.
Yeah, it's nice up here, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's good to
beautiful. And how long do you think it's been since
Well,
we've done a show?
6 to 8 years, I figure.
Yeah, so it's time.
Yeah, it's
and
nice.
you know, the cool thing about the Arrow Lakes is it's about 80 miles long. It goes from, you know, the Hugh Keenley side down near Castlegar all the way up to probably McCusp or even Revelstoke.
That's right.
Yeah, forever. But the cool thing is, today it's all dry fly. And people don't know it. You know, you come out here in the fall, it's, you know, late September, all through October, you can get these beautiful rainbow and dry fly. So it's Arrow Lakes today as we take you sport fishing on the fly. Always fun to start off on the lake. You know, it's pretty special today being on the Arrow Lakes. We usually do this every couple of years. And the cool thing about this time of year, in late September, early October, these nice rainbows will cruise all along the cliffs and take a dry fly. You know, a lot of hoppers are coming down. We got the little, what they call cedar bugs are on the water, a lot of midges hatching. Real good time of the year, the fish are bulking up. But the water's super low this year, like lower than I've ever seen it. So I don't know what to expect. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, just tied on a Joe's hopper, real basic fly. And I think I'm gonna add some gink to it. So I'm just tying it on in the normal fashion. And hopefully it does the trick.
Joe's hopper.
Joe's hopper.
Yeah, any kind of hopper pattern out here should be really good.
Yeah.
Double humpies, tom thumbs.
That's right.
Chernobyl ants, big stuff.
It just feels nice to fish instead of roll.
Oh, there we go, fish on, just like that. With the big double humpy, how's about that? First cast,
Yeah.
baby.
You seen him in there, did you?
Well, we saw him rise, and you know, again, we know they love that double humpy. So what I did, put on the yellow, one of my favorites, a yellow double humpy.
Nice.
I'll show everybody this, but you know, not a bad size to start. He's not huge, but you know, he's nice. We're gonna get him 16 to 24 inches today. Oh, look at that, gorgeous. And just crystal clear water. Got him?
Yep.
Nice, you can just unbutton him.
Yeah, he's right in the corner here.
Double humpy, nice barbel hook, but they like that big stuff, Dwayne. They always do it this time of year, right?
I might be too small with that little Joe. There, nice.
Nice.
That's energy, that guy. Good
That's
job.
a good start.
It is.
That was my first cast along the rocks. And there it is, so nothing small. So you can see the yellow underneath. It's a big double humpy, so tie it double over just like you would a tom thumb. Come over once, you wrap over extra long hook, you know, 2, 3x long, and you get nice big double humpy. Works great out here, and again, these fish, there's not a whole lot of, you know, food out here. They're bulking up for the winter, and they want big stuff. So again, hopper patterns, double humpies, anything big, Chernobyl ants with legs, anything wiggling along there. And as the sun, as it warms up, we're gonna hit the other side, and there's, you know, there's some big fish in here, 24 inches that'll come up and grab these. So. Wow, they are on, and there's another one. Another cast right in the rocks, and you know, this is one of about, oh, I don't know, 1,000 rock cliffs along this lake. It's 80 miles long from McCusp all the way down to the Hugh Keenley side dam. And it's crazy. And look at the fight in these fish. This guy isn't big, but they're just tough rainbows in here. And they're gorgeous fish. You know, they got the beautiful colors. You can see the clear waters. And it's dry fly fishing all day. So again, people would come to a lake this size, never in a million years think of dry fly fishing, and you get it all day in this time of year. And actually in the spring's not bad either, but the fall's the best. And this guy's not bad, you know, he took it pretty soft, but look at that, holy cow. You're gonna get him on the reel. Wow. Yeah, well, right in the top of the mouth. And all I'm gonna do is unbutton them. Just gonna tilt over here. Again, you know, this is our average size. We're just gonna get the 16 to 18 inches. There he is there. You know, gorgeous fish, nice and healthy. Beautiful colors. I mean, look at the colors. And there he goes. Right down the bottom again. So, that's a 4 casts, 2 fish, and they're on it. Holy cow. And it doesn't take long, you know, you get out here in the mornings, they're really cool nights. So what you're looking for in the fall, again, late September, early October, cold nights down to freezing or, you know, even 2 degrees Celsius. And they're getting nice and warm in the day, kind of the low 20s Celsius to mid 20s. And then these cliffs and this lake just cranks up. Ideal, but when it warms up, it gets pretty warm. You know, we've been out here about half an hour and you have yet to cast your fly. You think, what the heck are you doing back there?
Yeah, some issues.
As Les says, you're getting pretty good at tying on flies. You know, here's a little tip for everybody. What we were doing when we first got here is, you know, I put on the big double humpy, we put on some larger hoppers and we were fishing the cliff and we had a little bit of a riffle, you know, which is nice. So you can get away with something a bit bigger. Now we're having fish moving around us, but it's dead calm. It is super flat. So all I've done is gone down a size. Instead of the big stuff, I put on something a little more natural, just a single humpy, just a little bit smaller. And right away, I got a hit on it. So in this dead calm, it's tough, but at least when they can have a really good chance to look at it for a long time, because this water is crystal clear, try to go smaller. I mean, we still want to track them up to the dry, so don't go too small, but the big double humpy was too big.
Finally hooked up. Got lucky.
Nice fish, Dwayne.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Did a few jumps. Made it nice. He's coming in close to shore, this one. Yeah, they're sure strong for little guys. Just about got him in. And we'll let him go. Just unbutton him.
What we're doing is, you can see the cliffs and you can see there's this fairly quick drop off. And all we're doing is casting, you know, 10, 15 feet off those cliffs. And later on, when we get to some other cliffs further down, we'll go right on the cliffs. We'll actually let the fly hit the cliff and fall down. And that's why it's priceless to have an electric motor. Yeah, I've got this Minn Kota Terrorova. It's just a fantastic system to work these areas. So we're just gonna work our way down and pick some fish off. Oh, nice. Oh, that's a good one, Dwayne.
Just as you said it was tough.
Just as I said.
Bang.
Eh?
That's
Look
how
at
fishing goes.
And right in that nice little edge, right?
Yeah.
Right off that cliff. And what'd you put on? What do you take, the hopper?
Yeah, the green hopper.
Nice, the green hopper. I've got a little humpy on right now. They like it too. You know, again, the best flies you're gonna use, humpies, double humpies, tom thumbs, and hoppers. Those are your go-to, and they just will cycle through it. The thing here, like Dwayne was saying, it's like watching paint dry. Well, it isn't. You just have to take your time, leave the fly out there, and wait for the fish to find it. And you just tweak it once in a while. Yeah. Ooh, that's a good fight. Hey, that's a decent fish. Oh, that's gorgeous, Dwayne.
Yeah, he's nice.
That's a beauty.
Wow, did he ever take it down? He wanted that.
I've got forceps there if you want. Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Barbless hook popped
Nice.
out.
There's a little fly. Oh, that's gorgeous. How big? How long
I
is
would
that
say
guy? It's
he's
probably
20,
20-ish. Yeah, I know. Very nice. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at the colors, eh?
Yeah.
There's such pretty fish in here. And there's that nice Moby net, all catch and release, which makes it real nice. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful rainbow.
We're gonna let him go.
We're gonna get those all day long. There he goes. Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
still see
big D.
Good.
Very
I
nice.
feel better now.
On the little green guy. Well, you know what you better do? Here's the fly. There's your fly. Show everybody. Because that might be another good candidate for the bench, right?
That's for sure.
We've got the humpy, double humpy. I don't think we've ever really done a foam hopper, and that one is It's one of Kale's.
It's like green
Kale
body
Stanchuk.
and
Yeah.
some nice yellow legs, rubber legs, a little bit of deer hair in there.
Looks pretty cool.
It floats nice.
Yeah.
Very durable.
Well, maybe, you know what? Maybe we'll go to the bench and tie that up. Today on the bench, I want to tie you up the green foam hopper. You know, Kale, our editor, took a bunch of these patterns out with us, tied up actually quite a few the night before. We used them out on the Arrow Lakes, and it was a fly of the day. So make sure you have these materials ready before you tie the fly. For the hook, we'll use a Mustad R73 size 10. We'll tie with some 30D yellow nano silk. For the head and tail, some 2mm green foam. Some Spectra dubbing, number 34 for the body. Some natural deer hair for the wing. For the wing highlight, we'll use some olive green crystal flash and some chartreuse barred rubber legs for the legs. So to start the fly off, I've put my thread onto the hook and I'm just going to cut a little V in the tail and just leave it kind of square at the top. So I'm just forming a small little notch. I'm going to put it back about the just about the length of the hook gap past the tail, just so we have a little bit of a butt on the fly, and then cinch it down. What I'm going to do is wrap up my foam all the way up the front of the hook. Just leave a little bit of room from your eyelet. We don't want to crowd the eye because we're actually going to fold this over after. But just tie that in, make sure it's nice and secure. Now that we have the foam tied on, we're going to tie in a over body here of the dubbing. This is just going to form the body, and again, just keep it nice and thin, and just keep dubbing on as you go along. And once you get enough dubbing on your thread, we're just going to wrap it forward to form the body. So what I've done is take a clump of deer hair, now that I have the body tied in, I've already stacked it and cut it, and I want it just to extend not quite past the tail, just past the hook bend a little bit, but not quite past the tail. And then we're going to tie it in right at the front. Now that I have the top wing tied in, I'm going to take 2 strands of crystal flash. Just going to put them on my thread, pull them forward, and just wrap them on top, right over top of the deer hair, just for some flash. That'll extend over the front. And then cut them about the length of the deer hair. Now that we have the body and the wing tied in, we're actually going to take our foam and just extend it about double the length past the eyelet. And then we're just going to tighten it down. That just gives us a nice head on the fly. When you skitter it in the water, it makes a little bit of a wake. Tie that nice and tight. Now what we're going to do is cut this about the same length as the size that we just tied in. So right about there. This extends back, and then cut a little V on the top that you cut off. Now that we've got the whole head tied in the body, we're going to take our rubber legs, and they're barred yellow or chartreuse, any of these colors work, and put some rubber legs on one side. Just tie them in nice and loose. And again, a couple on the other side, and make sure they stick out nice. And then wrap them in good. And then what we'll do is we'll cut them to length. Move the 2 on the front, make sure they're about, just extend past the eyelet by about 1 inch, and the back ones are right to the butt of the fly. So now to finish the fly off, I'm just going to whip finish. Got a big whip finisher here, seems to work the best. And cut off your excess, and then you can put a little bit of head cement on there. You actually put some hard as nails underneath if you want, just to solidify the fly. So there it is, the finished green foam hopper. If Kale wouldn't have spent the time to tie those flies for us the night before, we wouldn't have had the day we had. So make sure you have a few of these in your box when you go out. Another nice one is working back on the cliffs. We saw a guy rise, and we picked him off. And he's one of the smaller guys, but thing in here, they're very powerful fish. And it's all dry fly, you just can't beat it. So again, recommended setup today, 4-weight, 5-weight rods. You're casting a little bit bigger patterns in the double humpies, but normally with the hoppers and stuff, whoa, it's not too bad. So again, 4 and 5 weights, 9-foot rod. You don't need anything long because you're not casting far. But the crazy thing is when you come out here, sometimes it's tough to find a spot to fish because it's an 80-mile long lake, and as you can see, we're the only boat on the lake, literally. Well, that's it. You can look all the way down the lake, all the way up the lake, and we can fish this lake for 80 miles doing this on dry fly. What more can I say? Okay, Big D, you're gonna net this guy. He's fighting good for a little guy. It's not very big. There you go. I'll let you do the honors, just a nice little guy.
There, he's gonna go up there. There you go.
Well, you know what, Big D, all we need is a few hoppers falling down from those trees and real close. So you just got to be right in by those rocks. So a quick recap on the day. You know, we started with a double humpy, then we showed you a little bit further up the lake. Then we went for some singles. Of course, Big D's been using the hopper all day. A couple that Kale tied us up work exceptionally well. And I've decided to go with the hopper. Again, it got a real natural looking color, and I don't think it matters. Again, it's just getting into the fish. We've got a new spot here. Riffles calmed down. There's fish here. We already caught a couple, so let's keep working it, and hopefully the hopper is going to produce. Oh yeah, that was good on the hopper, in tight. Oh, this is a nice fish. This is nice. Got a little bit more meat to him, and when he's shaking hard too. Sweet, that was a better take. Oh, you gotta love that. Can't beat it. Imagine a lake this size, dry fly, all along the rocks. There he is there, another, oh, this one's a nice one. That's gorgeous. Well, he didn't hesitate, eh, Dwayne? He took it pretty good.
Took it nice.
Took it nice.
Let's take a look.
Need the bar or the pliers?
Well, we gotta survey it a little bit. Oh, it looks okay. You'll pop it out of there.
All right, that the fly out. There you go. Nice. Oh, it's a nice guy. Not huge, but decent. And there he is there. Yeah, nice and healthy. Look at the beautiful colors on him. There he goes. Yep. Oh, there it is there. There's one of Kale's hoppers he tied for us. Tied us up a bunch. Took him on. He's got different colors, you know, like Dwayne's got a green one on, I've got the brown, and they work really good. They're just a nice size, and they really like that. Don't want them too big or too small, but there's one there. And I want to mention one other thing too on the lake. You know, if you look at the lake, how calm it is today, remember, this is a huge body of water. I mean, it's a massive lake, and it can blow up on you. So we're in a 20-foot boat, and I would recommend minimum 16, 18 footer out here. Because when it does blow up, you have to get off the lake, because there'll be white caps. It's huge, huge water. So when you come out here, we always talk about being careful. It's a big, big lake. These are ideal conditions. You're not going to see this very often on this lake where it's just really nice and calm like this. So make sure you're prepared. Wow, there's another beauty. right on the cliffs. So again, right where Dwayne just cast there, you can see right on the cliffs. And that's where you got to be. If you're not hitting the wall or you're not within a foot, they don't like it a lot of times. They just want it right on there. And this is oh, look at that one. That's a nice fish. That's got some beautiful size to him. Oh, that's another dandy.
Yes, it is.
Flies out. Oh yeah, look at that.
Nice colors. Beautiful greenback.
Yeah.
Whoa. Here, fella.
Decent size too, you know.
We're gonna let you go anyway.
It's got to be in that 18-inch range, eh?
Yep.
All right, there he goes. Good job, Big D.
Come on.
Came to our final little spot. This is always a good spot. It's kind of the last cliff bank on our way down. Sun's dropping pretty quick. We usually get a few here as we end up, so we got to give it the last effort. You know, we got out here around 11 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock now, so you know, it's a good 6 hours. We got a great day. Probably caught 15 to 18 fish, maybe 20. I don't know, we didn't show a bunch of the smaller ones, but again, very, very productive day. And now we want the big one here before we finish up. It's got to be one big guy up there. That was a nice fish. And he ate it. I tweaked it.
I got one too.
Oh, and you got a double header. Oh, indeed, double header. What a way to finish. And this one's a nice one.
Yeah, this is a lot smaller.
Oh, this one's a nice one. Wow. Took it out in the big water. Oh, that's a good skyer.
Yeah, he's medium.
Oh, man. Good scrappy fish. What a great way to finish on our last cliff before we were packing it in.
Yeah.
Oh, and this guy's nice. Yeah, he's feeling it.
Just don't back me off the boat.
I know, this guy's taking line. I don't think he's that big. I mean, he took out a little bit deeper.
He sure hit yours. You've seen him rising before
I
you
saw
caught.
him rising. I flicked over that, tweaked it a couple of times, and he came in and smacked
Put
it.
the back cast in there.
Yeah, he couldn't take it. He had to eat it. And he's just a little guy.
Oh, jeez.
Just a little fish.
Yeah.
What a fight.
Well,
He took me
mine
deep.
was an easy release.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
There.
Look
Well,
at the little guy.
He's not as big as you thought, but
No,
still
I
nice.
thought he was big. He took the line and everything. Took a big screaming run.
I'll let you bring him up. Yeah, still a lot of power in him.
No kidding. Oh, look at my line. Good time to finish.
Exactly.
Look at the line. Got a big tangle in it.
Okay, well, there he is.
Yeah, there he is, little guy. Jeez, and he took it hard. He took a bunch of line too. What scrappy fish. There he goes. Gone. Nice.
He's gone now.
Look at that. That's what happens to your line a lot of times. So, there's a good example of what happens when you're casting bigger flies, especially foam flies. I find that the foam picks up a lot of the wind. You know, they're a little bit thicker, a little bit tougher to cast, and then it just twirls your line. And so if you've got a knot, like that's my leader to tippet knot, and it just balls up. So, you know what? If you're really particular, that's a good breaking point. But since we're finishing the day and I've got about 5 more casts, I'm going with it. A lot of people, you know, they just can't handle that because it'll break for sure if I get something big, but I don't want to change. I'm just going with it until we finish up. Oh, let me get this out of the way. Well, it was a pretty good day, Big D.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
It was
great.
awesome.
It's fun.
And you know, the Arrow Lakes, we're out here for about 6 hours. In that whole stretch of water that we fished, did not see another boat or even another person.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy for this time of year? So again, it really gets good around mid-September, all the way through into November, if you don't mind getting a little chilly. But they take dry fly, and it's all rainbow trout fishing. And you know what? You're going to get fish from 16 to 24 inches, which is pretty phenomenal.
Oh yeah, it's a great time.
But you know what? We talked about this earlier in the show. When you come out here, you have to take care because this is big water. And when it kicks up nasty, right? You've seen it.
Oh, for sure.
And you better have a big boat and make sure you've got all your life stuff and everything else. So when you come here, take care. Conserve our waters. We'll see you next time. We take you sport fishing on the fly.